I'm here at my place of business where I work. It is now 3:01 in the morning. I just got on here real quick just to say some words on some things that been on my mind. Maybe I'm going to do a two-part thought on here. And that is disturbance and family dynamics. And what I wanted to talk about was different viewpoints on it. Family should start with love, and if love is not built in a family, everything else will crumble. A reason I say that is if we put God in our families and God being love, then we can exhibit a lot more in a family. And a lot of times the family dynamics are disturbed because sometimes there is not a two parent home. There are there are mixed races, mixed cultures, different things that may come about, mixed religions, um, always different viewpoints. But if love wasn't based upon it, it's hard to build upon anything else. And a lot of times when we don't love each other in the family, even if it's just one person we don't love, it brings about tension and it brings about disturbance in the family. Because why? It's always that feel of, okay, there's an awkward feel in the building, there's an awkward feel in the building. Um, for instance, I love my son unconditionally. Even when I'm upset with him, I love him. Even when I'm tired and he's just going on and on, I love him. There's nothing in life that I couldn't try to think I could do just to show my son love. And love is not always financial. Love is tangible. Meaning, I want to feel you hug me. I want to feel you interacting with me. Love is emotional. I want to feel like you love me. I want to hear that you love me, like the words you say are nice, and I want to see that you love me, like you want me around and things like that. I always try to, I never like to, I don't want myself to ever hear me think to say, oh, I don't want you around you. And when I see that my son doesn't feel loved by whomever it is, it bothers me. And when I see that people don't show him love the way they should, it bothers me greatly. And maybe I go over beyond to show him love, because when he doesn't feel like he's loved, he'll tell me like, "Mom, I feel like people don't love me, or they don't." That hurts, especially when you see others being loved by the same people you want love from. That's not cool. Or when someone show outsiders more love than they show you as a family member, that's not cool. That hurts when you see an outsider getting more love. Like, man, I'm your own family. You don't show me that much love or attention or whatever. That hurts and that disturbs a family. Trust. If you can't be trusted in a family, that's rocky right there. If I can't close my eyes because I think you'll steal from me, that's a problem. If I can't close my eyes because I think that you might want to cause me physical bodily harm, that's a problem. If I can't close my eyes and think that you won't do something that will cause a disturbance in a current situation in the household, that's a problem. A lot of people, that's why a lot of foster kids, they go through the system, they're always scared because why? They have been somewhere where it's supposed to be a loving family and they were disturbed because somebody did something to violate them. Imagine how many people who are in the same homes with their family who's being mentally violated, physically violated, emotionally violated, where their trust is being disturbed, where people are being beat on, people are being cheated on, people are being dishonest, people are being mean and hurtful. That deals with trust. I trust that you would love on me, that you would take care of me. I trust that we could take care of each other, we could be there for each other. And when you don't have trust in a family, when I think that every time something's missing, I have to be like, oh my God, this person took it, or I can't be in the house because why? I have to lock my people have to lock their your doors because you're gonna eat this, you're gonna take this. That's sad. Where you gotta constantly keep locks on your phone because not because of outsiders, because of insiders, and you can't trust. That's sad. When you can't trust the words that's coming out of my mouth, that's sad. This brings about disturbance in the family. Outsiders. When you let too many outsiders in your family, that's a lot of times could cause a lot of disturbance in the family. An outsider. And the reason I said this, there's some people that need a family structure or whatever. But when you allow so many people on the outside into your personal business of your family, when you allow them in too close, sometimes they overstep their boundaries and don't know limits. And that could cause a serious uproar. Because it's like, hey, they don't know when they shouldn't chime in. They don't know when they shouldn't be at every function. They don't know when they shouldn't be around. They don't know. They don't have boundaries, Once they develop that, oh, I'm friends, but now I'm family. Outsiders can put things in your ear that you never even thought of that was maybe negative or whatever. Because why? Some outsiders don't have your best interests at heart. And some outsiders don't know situations as deep as they may think they know, and they could cause a rocky point in the situation. Sometimes outsiders are not good and sometimes outsiders can be good for certain things, but you have to not allow outsiders to take control of that family dynamics and allow them to disturb the functioning of your family. Sometimes outsiders can get more of your attention than family can, and that's not cool. I never allow anyone to get more of my attention than my son. To go on further, if I have other kids with me, whatever the situation is, my son's going to get my attention, and those children get my attention, but I will never allow someone else to get more of my attention than my son will. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, every child that's around me, they're going to feel like they had the most attention given from me, because that's me. I will not allow outsiders. When I even say outsiders, I will not allow electronics, telephones, iPads, computers, TV. That's outside stuff. Interfere with family, laptops, video games, outside disturbance, where you allow those things to run your daily lives that you can't communicate. That's another thing. Communication is essential for a thriving family structure. Where there's no communication in a family, a lot of times things go wrong. Because what? I don't know what you're thinking. You don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know where you're going. You don't know where I'm going. And there's a whole bunch of, I think this, they think that, I'm not sure about this, what about that? And there's a whole bunch of question marks, but not enough periods, because things have not been asked and answered. Things have not been spoken about and closed. And when we don't communicate, a lot of times things erupt, because there's a whole lot of things that have been bottled up that eventually comes out. And we don't tend to listen to each other as people and families when you have situations. And we don't always try to resolve it to help each other out. It's a lot of times that I want my point brought across more than your point brought across, and I'm right, you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, I know what I'm talking about, you're selfish, you're not. We find reasons to point fingers, to do the blame game, call names, and that doesn't help solve anything. And if we don't communicate, a lot of times things get lost in translation, lost in explanation, because why? Things have built up, things have been misinterpreted, and that could have been resolved from the beginning. So I think when you communicate with each other, it'll help the family. It will help a family dynamic. For instance, and I'm always going back to my son. I always say, my mom used to do this while I was growing up. She'll say, she'll take us, like, all me and my siblings, and say, talk to us together, and then she'll talk to us individually and say, oh, what do you have on your mind today? What do you would like to talk to me about today? And whatever, because she wanted to hear us. And then she'll give us advice on how to maybe handle a situation or whatever, but she wanted to hear us. And I often try to do it myself. Like, okay, so what you want to talk to me about? What you want to discuss? Whatever. I never wanted to be where he couldn't come to me or never felt comfortable enough to discuss something with me. I wanted it to be a communication that's open. Like any topic that's open or whatever, deals with your body, deal with your thoughts, deal with your feelings, how you want to express yourself. Talk to me. Because then I don't want the I coulda, shoulda, woulda when it's too late. So I think communication is very important because when you communicate, a lot of times finances go down in family because we don't want to communicate and we don't want to express the maybe financial hardships or the financial success. We don't want to communicate, and a lot of times that go down, and that deals with pride as well. Uh, Terminologies. When we say things, we have to watch how we say it and what we say because they can offend. And when you offend someone, you never know how they took it. Some people might take something with a grain of salt and just be like, oh, whatever. And someone else, it might eat at their core. And when you hurt your own family, that's not cool. Especially when you hear outsiders be lifted up more than your own family, than you would lift up your own family. That's not cool. When you hear you get on my nerves, you're so annoying, I don't want to be around you, I only deal with you because you're my family. If you wasn't my family, I have nothing to do. Those things like that, that's really, really hurtful. Really, really hurtful. When you can tear down a person's appearance in your family but build up somebody else. Hey, help build me up. Say something nice about me. Don't do it just to say, well, I did this time. No, you look nice. Thank you. I like that on you. Thank you. Say nice words, build someone up. We gotta watch the terminologies we say to people because it's dangerous. It's very dangerous what you say, especially by if I hear, I as a person that's maybe offended, if the person that's offended may hear you say something else, that's not nice. I think the scripture says about overcoming evil with good. You know what I'm saying? um and then I hear the song "Never Look Down on a man unless you're picking them up." A lot of times we look at that as a person that you don't know or someone you see on the street. No, don't look down on those in your own family. If you're looking down on someone in your family, that's horrible. Especially if you're out there picking someone else up. That ain't cool. Um, Another thing that disturbs a family dynamics is time. When you don't have time for your own family but have time for everything else, that's not cool either. When time with your own family is limited because you give yourself to others, that's not cool. Hi, it's two more over here. Where's Sigma? Sick. Oh, they already put the stuff towards the back. They came, yeah. Sorry. Um, that's literally not cool. When you have time, like somebody in your family, like, hey, can you come with this? Oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. I don't have time. I gotta see. But if someone else needs you for something, you're able to go. Make time for them. Stop, drop, and roll for them. No matter how tired, how busy your schedule is, that's not cool. When you can remember to be there for someone else's event, someone else's thing, but then you forget your own children, your own spouses, your own parents, your own siblings events, but then you can remember outsider has events for days and you can make it. That's not cool. When you make excuse, I can't get up early, I'm gonna be too tired, I have to see, that's too late. But someone else in the same situation, you'll make an effort. Oh, that's too far, I can't try. That's hurtful because it's like, okay, but you don't know what that's doing. Make time. Plan out to do things together as families, and let it not be family with friends. No, this is a family occasion. Like one day my son asked me, like, hey mommy, can we do something this week, just me and you? A lot of times he asks, can me and him and his dad do stuff, and he knows that's probably not going to happen. So he's like, mom, can me and you then? I don't want anybody else to come. Anybody else come, can just be me, you, and my dad. If my dad's not gonna come, can just be me and you. And I always say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna try to do something. And I'm always trying to do something with my son. always. Today I didn't have them, but guess what? I was in the store looking for something, whatever, from my son. Because by chance our plans, didn't get to happen. But I'm always trying. I don't want to have the thought of I got to bring a third, fourth, fifth person just to spend time. So these are moments that we have to make. And a lot of times people lose out on that because they feel as though they have to add outsiders for everything. And then you lose your family connection because why? You're so worried about the outside and making sure they enjoy themselves. It's very important. Time. Put your time. Go to for instance, I used to go to people's doctor's appointments, kids that missed up. Okay, I'm coming. School plays, school this, do that. I was putting my time to show my love and affection. Put time in. When you don't put time in, time is gonna run out. And those days when those people are on their deathbed, those days when people have died, I wish I could have did this. I don't have enough memories. My son is 8 years old. His grandfather died while he was still 7. Guess what? The thing that hurts him the most is he doesn't have enough memories. Why? Because time was not put in between them for him to have built up enough memories of his grandfather. So he has to look at videos. Time is important. Time. Another thing, respect. You have to show respect in a family. And when I say respect, let's include myself. You have to show respect for who the person is, what the situation is, the respect that you guys are blood. We gotta respect things that should or should not be said and done in a family. Respect people's private space. Respect people's business. Respect. We have to teach other people to respect your own family dynamics. Not to feel comfortable to say and do everything within your family. Respect what's private is private, and I can't discuss this with you. Huh? Sure. All right. Where is it? Where is it? All right. I'm coming. We gotta respect. I gotta do something, so I'm gonna take the phone. We have to respect the fact that. Hold on. This one? Push that one out, Lee. We're gonna leave it there. Push that out. You won't take it. If you say what you need, I told them more than be like, oh, I'll leave it for tomorrow. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, respect is vital. It's very important to respect. Listen, I said the child. I like to respect his feelings. I like to respect his thoughts. I like to respect his viewpoints. And if I think it's a little outlandish, I'll say, okay, that's a little much. But I still like to respect, I have to respect my parents. And a lot of times we think respect is only children respecting parents. No, parents respect kids. Because one day your kids are going to become grown. And you gotta respect that they became grown. Respect their space, respect how they want to handle things in life. You gotta respect that they're no longer children. Sorry about the noise or whatever. Like I said, I'm at work. Another thing I want to discuss is boundaries. Boundaries is vital in a family. And if you don't have boundaries in a family, there's a problem. And a lot of times we tell kids, oh, you gotta have boundaries. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. It's more than just kids having boundaries. Boundaries. Shalom. Good morning. Just sitting here discussing some thoughts I have about family dynamics. Boundaries is very important in a family. If you can't hear me, let me know. I'm sorry. I'm working at the same time. Boundaries is very important because if you don't have boundaries, outsiders won't have boundaries. If you don't know what you shouldn't or should do within your family dynamics to keep your family whole, to keep your family functioning, outsiders won't respect your family dynamics. You gotta know what you can and what you should and should not say. What should and should not be exposed to outsiders. What should and should not be discussed even amongst family members. A lot of times, it feels okay to say anything to any and everybody. Even in a family, not everybody in a family needs to know everything about your personal business. Another form of boundaries. It goes back to trust. Husband and you, not to cheat on each other. You gotta trust that someone won't violate a child in the family. That someone won't abuse someone in the family. When boundaries are not set, look, fresh baked cookies. When boundaries are not set in a family, we lose control of everything. So if we don't put it on our mindset to set boundaries, like, hey, don't, it's not cool. Don't address my wife like that. Don't address my husband like that. Don't address your mother like that. Don't address your father. Don't talk to each other. Set boundaries. Hey, don't walk around each other like that. Don't expose yourself. These are boundaries. When family boundaries are broken, you can't expect to build up on things that are being broken. You know, the words that come out of your mouth may not be suitable for every situation. There has to be a point in time when you have to say, you know what, that's not boundaries. That's not necessary. We have to teach people how to come to sometimes people's defense. Like, I have my own situations where I feel as though boundaries are not being respected. How do I handle it? I have to keep walking away from it, and not really addressing it, and then it becomes so frustrating. But I'm trying to respect boundaries. Nate, when you come back down, bring me the 2 powder things, the sugars. Bring me the powdered sugar and the lemon powder. I'm gonna put the powder for you. I want to feel like at the end of the day that I know how to. Thank you. That's my coworker. His name is Nate. I want to know at the end of the day that I know how to respect boundaries when it comes to other people's family. Like, for instance, I know how to respect boundaries when it comes to my son's side, father's side of the family. Do I always feel respected? No. Can I do something about it? Not necessarily at this point, but I have to respect boundaries. Well, have I always been respected? No. But at the same time, I gotta show my son how not to disrespect boundaries. Can I say the same in my family? Have boundaries always been respected? No. And has it caused distinction in the family? Yes. So even in all types of family, when boundaries are crossed, things come about. Another thing, sorry about that. Another thing that came up for the family disturbance is dealing with opposite sides of the family. When you have to deal with like in-laws or like in my case, I don't have to deal with in-laws, but my son's side of the family, the father's side of the family, you got to deal with like other people. It's like how to handle them. What are the things you should and should not do that doesn't cause a disturbance in the structure of your family? I have an 8-year-old son, so he has other families to deal with. So I have to know how to handle certain situations and I have to learn how not to work out of my feelings all the time, and how to make a wise decision. So you got to ask yourself, how can I handle this situation better? That's all about, that won't cause a family disruption or disturbance or awkwardness. That's why a lot of times people have to go to court for visitation, because why? Family disturbance. We don't know how to handle a situation. We don't know how to get along. We don't know what to say, what to do. And our best thing is to be angry or just to be nasty. Nah, that's not cool. So I have to always say, what's a different way of handling it, especially that it won't affect my son in any type of way. Um, uh, um, Another aspect that comes to my mind is also, oh, hold on 1 second. Finances. When we have, especially in families where there's always a combined family, when they have that mentality, this is my money, this is your money, this is my money, this is your money, and then when the money is needed, it's like, hold on, this is my money, this is your money. Or when you're so secretive about it, so money is needed, and it's like, hey, I don't know nothing about what's going on with your money. How else that now you need money? Where's your money going? That's not cool. When bills have to be paid, and it's like, okay, the lights are going out, or the car is being repossessed, or food is getting low in the cupboards in the refrigerator, or the bank accounts are just keep hitting the negatives. It's like, what's going on with the finances? You know, where's the accountability in finances? Where is the working together in the finances? And a lot of times, families suffer because of yours and mine in finances instead of ours, or how to combine certain finances to make things work. A lot of times it's parents, when they have children, it's not, we don't have it. It's either a mom saying, I don't have it, a dad saying, I don't have it, rather than we don't have it. If we learn to put our finances together in certain things, it will stretch better. Parents that live in a single family home. I strongly believe when you're the parent that don't live at home, and you don't have to do the daily functions of family, and you're not there physically on a daily basis, because there's people that don't live together, but they're together, they're there physically every day doing something. If you're not financially, you should be trying to do a little bit more to lighten up the load. Share the finances on a lot. And I'm not saying pay that child's light bill for their house or whatever, but when it comes to certain things, like this is my thought. If the primary parent take care of all the bills as far as keeping the lights on and all that stuff, then hey, the other parent should make sure, you know what, you never have to buy clothes because you pay for the bills in the house for my child to stay at, and my child whatever. You should never have. This is how you help out financially to lighten up the loads, where kids will never have to be like, well, I don't know. This is how you work together. And in family dynamics, it gets crushed because we're not working together. A lot of times we want to do things separately and on our own. And when we think like that, you start to divide. You know that saying, that saying of the prays together stays together. A lot of families ain't praying together, so they're not staying together. So another topic that another thing in families that cause a family disturbance is feelings. We're not considerate of one another's feelings in families a lot of times, or we consider one person's feelings over the other, and that a lot of times can crush a family. If you know someone is hurting, whatever form or fashion, be considerate of someone's feelings. You don't realize when you don't see when you don't pay attention to someone's feelings, a lot of times it starts to affect other things, and it's like a domino effect. And when you don't consider someone's feelings and someone's emotions, it starts to affect other situations, other people, other aspects of life, and then it starts to become a ripple effect that is just messing up everything. We have to be considerate of each other's feelings in a family. If the words we say can can destroy someone's feelings. Um, when you when we think when we speak before we think, sometimes a lot of times that people say, it's hard to take those words back because they already came out your mouth. That's kind of true. But when you don't consider one's feelings in a lot of things, and feelings don't always have to be words, feelings is actions. When you don't consider someone's feelings, whenever I hear my son say, "Mommy, I don't know if this person loves me or this person," that hurts my feelings to know my son's feelings is hurt because he feels as though he's not being loved by somebody. And I'm not talking about when he's being, um, hey, Belly, that's my best friend. And I'm talking about like some people's, like, slight stuff. You have to consider when you tell somebody, "Oh, you look a mess." You don't know that day they might have been having a rough day, or that might be the day they thought they was doing the best. Guess what? You have crushed their feelings. But when you never turn around and say, "You look beautiful, you look nice, you look this, you look that," and a positive, that hurts. You know, when uh, someone says, "Hey, I needed help," and you couldn't even take time to help them. It could be small things, but then you took time to help someone else. That's feelings. When when you didn't remember something about me that was important, but then you might have remembered something about somebody else, that's feelings. And a lot of times we're not mindful of people's feelings, and this disturbs things. You don't realize if a parent, if an older parent talking to the younger, like one of their children who are parents, and they're trying their best to be a good parent, and the older parent is always tearing them down, like, "You don't know what you're doing," and this, that, and the other. I can do this better than you, and if it's never nothing positive coming out, like, you're a good mom, you be trying your best, it's always going to be like you have nothing positive to say, or you're so out of shape, you need to get in shape, and it's like you have nothing positive to say. And then when someone's losing weight, you don't say, "Oh, you look, you're doing a good job," Uplift, don't tear down. Feelings are important, and then when they lash out, it's sometimes the wrong person gets the brunt of the lashing. Um, what's another family disturbance I can think of? Sharing. Okay, when I was a kid, everybody called me, my family called me selfish Sally. And when I say sharing, I mean all aspects of sharing. Uh, Sharing amongst things in the household, uh, sharing amongst finances, sharing amongst your thoughts, sharing amongst time, sharing amongst communication. Share. It's vitally important to share things. And I'm not saying you have to share everything, but it's vitally important to share things with your family. Um, Another aspect that I would bring out is sweeping things under the rug. When you sweep things under the rug, oftentimes it doesn't get resolved. And when children that constantly sweep things under the rug, when you tell them to clean up, eventually you see a lump in the rug, and then they really didn't clean what you told them to clean. They just swept it under the rug. That goes on in a lot of families. We just sweep it under the rug. All right, you know, we ain't gonna deal with it. We ain't gonna deal with it. We ain't gonna deal with it. And then when that hump comes, and that hump a lot of times cause explosion, because now it's like, oh my God, I have all this I gotta clean up. It's like you didn't deal with it when the pieces were minute, when they were little. There was particles where you could just take care of it before it becomes a whole science project, a whole experiment. And right now, a lot of families are dealing with years later worth of mess that they should have dealt with when it first happened. And then when things start to erupt from 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, it's like you should have dealt with it when you first heard about it. When we first came across this situation. And that goes back to my lines of communication. We don't deal with things when we should and a lot of times we don't deal with it properly. You know, religious families say pray about it. We go before God about it. Scientific people deal with, well, this is all about your sign don't match with your sign, so this is why you're having conflict. No, it's not about that. It's about the fact that, hey, these are two different people with two different mindsets, with two different views, with two different this, that have to come together and work things out. And if one person is not willing to work things out, then the other person not working, all you're going to do is keep bumping heads, bumping heads, bumping heads, bumping heads. So it's vitally important, not to sweep things under the rug. Whether it's hurting you, whether it makes you feel good. Oh, this makes me feel good. Okay, talk about it. This is hurting me. Talk about it. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. If I could think of, let me see. Another family thing that causes disturbance. Parents. When parents are not on the same page when it comes to their children, it causes a big disturbance. Whether parents be together or be separate, it causes a big disturbance. And I'm not speaking that from my own experiences. When parents are not on the same page, it doesn't help situations, because children know how to manipulate certain situations, or they're affected by certain situations, whether it be positive or negative. And parents need to learn how to work together, and a lot of times put self aside and work together and come to a compromise. And that's another thing, compromise. We need to learn how to compromise. It can't always be one person's way. You got to be willing to say, okay, you know what, this time can't be my way, that time, or where's the middle ground? We have to learn to compromise, because if we don't, we're going to fall and fail. Fall and fail. Compromise. Learn to admit, and this is another thing. Admit to where your shortcomings are. Admit to where you might need help, because you never know in a family who can help you. So many people, family are built around people that have different skills and talents and expertise, but because of pride, a lot of times you don't admit we need help. Where can we get this type of help from, that type of help from? Because of pride. Put pride aside. If your marriage needs help, hey, it needs help. If your parents need help, it needs help. If your finances need help, it needs help. If your cooking needs help, it needs help. Whatever it may be, if it needs help, it needs help. Let's keep it 100, or let's keep it real. Get abuse out of families. Abuse, physical, mental, and verbal, emotional. Get it out of families. A lot of people are being abused in so many ways, and we don't want to admit we're being abused, because a lot of times we're ashamed of it. We don't want to admit we're being abused because, when I say we, I'm just saying the individual. We don't want to say that an individual don't want to say they're abused because they're embarrassed by it. You feel as though someone is not going to believe you, that you're making it up. Like, yeah, right, you're not being abused. The rolling one, I went and washed it because it was so dirty. It's in the it should be in the dishwasher. You're welcome. Sorry about that. Discuss when we don't deal with abuse in families, it could get out of control. So we have to stop abusing one another, abusing people's time, abusing people's kindness, abusing people's uh, finances, abuse. No, we have to learn to not abuse and take advantage of. Like I say all the time, I didn't have a kid to be my remote control. I didn't have a kid to go fetch me. Just go do. That's abusing the privileges of a parent. You make yourself lazy because you like, I have kids for that. No, that's not what you have kids for. You have kids because the scripture says to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Not to be be the person to go, do things. You know what I'm saying? Don't abuse your spouses. The words you say to each other, the physical harm. That's not cool. That's from my male and feminine. A lot of times we always say men don't hit women. Women don't hit men. Men don't tear down women. Women don't tear down men. Don't abuse it. Don't eat at the mind of somebody and say things that is detrimental to the mind, because when you kill the mind, you kill the heart, the body, and the soul. Watch the words that come out your mouth. That's why the scripture said, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in his sight. God's sight. Watch what we say out of our mouth. The words that come out your mouth can kill and destroy. Just like your hand can kill and destroy, the words you say, the way you treat people can break people. Trust me, it can break people. Put people in the spirit of depression, the thoughts of suicide, because why? Abuse is real and it hurts. And it hurts worse when it's in the family, where your family should be your safe haven. Your safe haven. And when you don't feel safe amongst your family, you tend to go the wrong direction a lot. Hardly ever, and I don't want to say never happens, do people find the positive safe haven. It's because why they don't know where to turn to, because why, where they felt safe or should have felt safe, it wasn't safe. Another disturbance in the family, people that don't desire to work but will spend. When the house is lacking and the family is lacking and struggling and making having to make men, you have to literally, you just barely making it, that is disturbing the family. When you're able-bodied people that can work, especially now, if you're home, maintain the home. And I'm not talking about, oh, I pay this bill from time to time. I'm talking about you keep the home, you keep the home clean, you keep the dishes clean, you wash the clothes, you do this, you do that. Those that live in houses, you mow the lawn. You're maintaining the house, where the houses that have to be in a disarray, those that stay home with children, so you're making sure the children are clean, they're doing their homework, they're doing projects and doing this. Okay, you're doing a full-time job. For those that don't do that, and the household is struggling, especially when you're able-bodied to work and you don't work. And a lot of times people want to cover up by something. Those in the ministry, I'm working for the church. And then you're sitting on your couch all day and you pick and choose when you want to work for the church, because why? Today this one's in the hospital. You don't always have to. I don't have to go. Somebody else can go. But then tomorrow you're over here doing this. Or someone that, I love to go volunteer. People that like always want to cover up as why they don't work. I love volunteering. I go to this place and that. No, if you're able to work. Take care of what has to be taken care of. The burden and the stress of someone that works all day is hard, especially when they come home and still have to work on. When they have to come home to cook and to clean and to maintain and to entertain and to That that's not cool. Not cool. What's another thing? And then this goes for parents. Parents, if your kids look like raggedy ants, look like dirty gyms and whatnot, and you are looking fly, well put together, hair slayed, nice haircuts, facial, and your kids look a mess, that messes up a family dynamic. When I hear kids act to look nice or somebody else do for them, they be like, oh my god, looks so nice. It's amazing, you know what I'm saying? And or I hear parents say, my kids look a hot mess, but then you're looking fly. That's amazing. That's sadly amazing. That you allow your children to look worse off and yourself look good. That's not cool. Not cool at all. Um, what's another thing that causes a disturbance? I'm gonna go back to honesty. When there's no honesty in the family, that breaks a family. Breaks a family. There's no honesty. Uh, siblings. When siblings are not close, it messes with the family. Uh, because why? It's like, okay, if there's strife between us, we can allow anything between us. Siblings, when between a husband and a wife, the only thing that's bonded by blood are siblings. Mothers and fathers are not bonded by blood, but siblings are bonded by blood. Siblings are what brings people together, because a lot of times it's you got two different parents and their DNA, their attributes, their personalities are mixed together to create children. And by chance, children are the only things that are combined to be a unit that is uniformly the same. We develop our own attributes, but we have our one thing that's unified is that we have the same parents with the same DNA. Siblings have to get closer, stay together, stand together, because when siblings are divided, tension rises faster. First of all, when parents are divided, tension causes a split. And then when siblings are not strong enough to be together, you start to help be part of that divide. And then you turn into those little particles I was talking about that turn into bigger pieces and bigger pieces that turn into that lump. These are disturbances in family dynamics. Um, Even in families where there is no mom and dad in the same household, and I really encourage this. If you're able to work things out with your child's father, your child's mother, don't be selfish not to, because a lot of times children are suffering because of those things. We have to stop thinking so selfishly of ourselves and think of the situation we have created and how can we fix it. Because there are so many situations where children grow up to be adults and say, I don't know how to do this because I didn't have a mom in the home. I don't know how to do this because I have a father in the home. And now you're giving society an incomplete person because why? They didn't have their mother and father together in the home. They come from a broken come on, word is right there. It's gonna come to me, but they come basically they're basically starting off broken. But that's not the word I want to use, but they're starting off broken. Um, religion. Religion in the family. Everyone is not religious, and I can't say you gotta be religious, you gotta be in my religion, you gotta whatever. But those that are religious, when you're not unified being religious and standing flat footed on the same thing, and when you have sometimes one person that's religious and one that's not, that causes a about wishy-washiness in a family, because then children could be like, well, they're not doing this, I don't want to do this, and nah, that's not cool. Your foundation, there we go, the foundation for a child when your parents is not both in the home is broken. Foundation. Foundation is important, very important. How can a building stand without foundation? How can our child stand without foundation? How can families stand without foundation? Morals. This is something else. When a family doesn't have morals in a family, and any and everything is said and done, it can go, a family loses many values in life. You lose out on morals in a family. You gotta have morals. When people don't have morals, it disturbs a family. When you don't have standards, when you don't have accountability, where you don't have when you don't have limits, that really disturbs a family. When things are not being taught, when things are not being learned, when things are not being understood, that messes up a family. When people look, hey, how are you doing there? What's going on? When people look at a family and that family has no morals. Stuff that we see on social media right now, where I was watching something where this boy was cussing out his mom, like, you bitch, f you this and that, and this, that's a disturbance in the family, because if he's doing it to his mother, he's going to do it to somebody else. And this boy couldn't have been no more than 7, 8 years old. And she's recording it like it's okay, and I was like, wow, I couldn't even think that at that age, let alone say it out of my mouth. So when we see family dynamics being disturbed because lack of morals, lack of teaching, and I can't even say it's just young parents, because nowadays I'm seeing these older parents who think it's cool because it's cute, because this one's doing it, and they getting all these likes on the internet, and this is popping, this is going on, it might make them famous. This is messing up family dynamics. Develop morals in your family. Develop a standard, develop a look, develop whatever. So when people look back, they be like, oh, this family, through the tenure of this family, I can say they have morals, I can say they have values, I can say they have this, they have that. Don't allow someone to, don't allow society, don't allow society to be the dictatorship of your family. Get morals, get teaching, get understanding, get knowledge, get accountability. Don't be stupid and allow society to destroy your family. If social media is causing a divide in your family, get off social media. If the telephone is causing a divide in your family, get off the telephone. If the computer is causing a divide in the family, get off the computer. If video games is causing a divide in the family, get off of video games. If talking to certain people is causing a divide in the family, stop talking to them. If your lack of not doing something is causing a divide in the family, start doing it. And if you're doing too much of something that's not necessary, stop it. We have to get back to a family structure, or what family looks like, before it's too late. We already got men on men laying with men, women on women laying with women, and then we're losing. Then we got the ones that have changed their gender. We're losing the dynamics of a family. That is causing a serious divide in family. There's a student at my mom's school that my mom says cry every day because they're so broken that they have 2 moms. And they're embarrassed by it. So this child is now growing up in the house and they're embarrassed by the family dynamics. But there's nothing that this child can do about it. Families. If your families are broken right now, fix it before it's too late. This is why families say, I'm not talking to you, I'm not dealing with you, and then years go by and people don't talk and they mean it. Years go by and then someone dies, you come to a funeral like, I haven't seen. What does that really profit us? You're not trying to fix a broken situation in a family dynamic. Boys don't know how to be boys because where's the men in the family? Where's the father in the household? And granted, there's dads that pass away. Then you got somebody else that will step up to the plate. Where is that? Women, your females don't know how to be females because why? We're not teaching them how to be ladies, how to do things of a female, how to maintain this, how to do that. And a lot of times things get so misconstrued. I don't know how to do this, I don't want to do that, or whatever. Let me tell you something. I love to play sports. I love to cook. I love to be girly girl, get my nails done, everything. Do all that girly stuff growing up. My mom did not allow me to lose focus of I'm a female. So there's certain things females do that boys don't do. And there's certain things boys do that females don't do. So that way I won't even get confused and feel comfortable. And that's another thing. I'm not playing with my son. You're not going to think it's okay to do stuff that girls are supposed to do and not boys. I'm not going to tolerate, I'm not going to put up with any of that. So I'm saying is, families, if you could fix your family, fix them while you have the time and opportunity. Now more than ever, I'm hearing people that I know, families are just dying off. They look nice? For real? What happened? Yeah. Do what you gotta do to help restore families. Restore your families. Restore the family. And if you think to have a family, think about, wow, what is it that we don't want to fall in the trap of that will cause this distance between us, or disturb this family, or because it's hurting me to see so many families broken. It's hurting me to see people suffer. It's hurting me to even see my son sometimes suffer from certain things, because why there were certain situations that he didn't ask to be. There's a lot of stuff he didn't ask to be in, but he's now a product of decisions that were made without him in mind. And a lot of times, families, we make decisions without everyone in mind. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everything, without people in mind. Families who promote their kids going to jail. But then you guys want to make rallies and marches, but your kids out there being murderers and carrying guns. What's the purpose? Where's the morals in the house saying, no, I don't uphold this? But now you want everybody to come together to say, come on, help get this family out of jail, help do this. No. Come rally, come wear a t-shirt, come march. No. Family disturbance. Disturbance. And another thing is, when parents don't get involved with their kids' school, and then your kids grow up to be dummies in society, you have disturbed the foundation of their education because you was not involved. Get involved. Educate yourself if you don't know. Don't keep laying down to have children. Don't keep trying to look fly like the next one, trying to get Jordans, trying to get this, and your children are not educated, and then when they go to have a conversation with you, and then they soon to realize that their parents are not educated either. That's a terrible thing. Everybody not going to make it to college, I understand that. But guess what was free? Public school. And if you didn't, and every public school is not going to offer you the best, but you can apply yourself. There's called the library. There go books, there go puzzles, there go a whole lot of things that can help you advance. Let me tell you something. If you don't know something, take your children's homework and say, what can I do to help myself get better? Go to your kid's school and say, hey, I need help. Can you offer a workshop? Because I am educationally neglecting myself, and I don't want to neglect my child educationally. This is how you help fix that disturbance in a family. Why not? Why not fix these disturbances? Society can get better if we get back as a family unit. Stop lying, stop backbiting, stop cheating, stop being dishonest, disloyal. Stop being, stop having hatred. Stop having malice. Stop having dissension amongst each other. Stop being jealous amongst each other. Stop tearing people down. Stop finding fault all the time. Start to love. Start to build. Start to restore. Start to say kind words. Start to encourage. Start to educate. Start to financially provide. Start to financially become stable. Start to seek help, proper help. There's so much we can do to help out our family disturbances if we so desire. But we first have to be honest with ourselves and with our families that this disturbance is a disturbance and it needs fixing before it be said too late. Don't allow a disturbance in a family to kill the very essence of you and your family. Because the shoulda, coulda, woulda don't work when you're laid up in the casket. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't work when you're sleeping out on the street. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't work when you're lost out there and don't have nobody come to. That's why family disturbances have broken the dynamics of a family. Repair, restore, and rebuild. I love you. God bless you. Have a good night. I have to get up out of here. It's now 4:03, and I need to get on up, get on out. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye. Time for me to go home. Time for me to go home. Time for me to go home. Oh, oh. Oh, time for me to get in my car. Oh, go home.